All right, y'all. Check this out. We finna watch Trump lying ass saying that we want a dictator, and he could be a dictator if he wanted to. Check this shit out.
I want to thank you. If you want, it's been a long time. If you want, we could go in and we can call it a day. And feel free then to ask some of the questions here. Look, I believe in very open, we want to be open, above board. We want to be honest with the media. I wish the media was totally honest with us, but I think they're getting better, to be honest with you. And
All right, if you want to be honest with the media, release the motherfucking Epstein's files, dog.
so we'll see. But if you want to take a few questions,
On a serious note, when it comes to Fed Governor Lisa Cook, her lawyer has said that they're going to be filing a lawsuit challenging this legal action. What is your response? Are you prepared for a legal fight? And then a little bit more.
Oh, sure. Always. You always have legal fights. Look, I had a legal fight that went on for years with crooked people, with very horrible people that have been found out now between John Ratcliffe and Tulsi and Pam. And I mean, the things that we found out, of course, it's a very, very sad group of people. But no, she seems to have had an infraction, and she can't have an infraction, especially that infraction, because she's in charge of, if you think about it, mortgages, and we need people that are.
Now this dude is going after a black woman. You know what I'm saying, governor. This first one that been sitting on that seat, and you going after her some bullshit just because you don't like what she say or how she vote for you. And no, matter of fact, it ain't even that. He trying to stack it. So you know what I'm saying? So it'd be 5-4. So you know what I'm saying? Well, they had a majority. He gonna see it later on. He just want the majority. He don't give a fuck, you know what I'm saying? But she's just the lowest hanging fruit because he think that she's a black woman and don't nobody care about her. You know what I'm saying? So he trying to go after her. Check this shit out.
That are 100% above board, and it doesn't seem like she was. Yep.
Mr. President, first, I'd love to ask you a serious question, but I have to tell you the biggest pop culture news of the year broke while we were in this cabinet meeting. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are engaged, and the world wants your reaction, sir.
Well, I wish him a lot of luck.
Thank
No,
you,
I think it's. I think he's a great player. I think he's a great guy, and I think that she's a terrific person. So I wish them a lot of luck.
On a serious note, Mr. President, in May, Secretary Rubio said that they were aggressively removing visas of Chinese students. Yesterday, you said you wanted to allow 600,000 Chinese students to study in the United States. Could you and the Secretary clarify what is the policy on Chinese students in the United States?
Well, we think we're getting along very well with China. And I'm getting along very well with President Xi. I think it's very insulting to say students can't come here because they'll go out, they'll start building schools, and they'll be able to survive it. But I like that their students come here. I like that other countries' students come here. And you know what would happen if they didn't? Our college system would go to hell very quickly. And it wouldn't be the top colleges. It would be colleges that struggle on the bottom. And you take out 300,000 or 600,000 students out of the system. I like having, and I told this to President Xi, that we're honored to have this.
Okay, you like to have the Chinese students come here that we really don't get along with. You know what I'm saying? But the American students, you don't want them in there. And then the students that we got in there right now, that's overseas from other countries and stuff, like Afghanistan or anything like that, you throwing them the fuck out. Don't why, you know what I'm saying? If they speak out about, you know what I'm saying, the wars that you ain't stopped, you want to throw them out the country. But you and Putin and Zine, whatever this fucking name is, y'all got a little deal. You know what I'm saying? You can bring them in, but you throwing all the people that we got here already out just because they don't agree with you? Come on, man.
The students here. Now, with that, we check and we're careful and we see who's there. And Marco wants that. We spoke. We're in the same position, but We have a tremendous college system, the best in the world. Nobody even close. That's why China sends them here. And you can call it an industry if you want, but you're talking about millions of people. And I'm honored to have the students from China come here, and we're just getting along very well with China. It's a different relationship than we had for years, where they took hundreds of billions of dollars, just sucked it right out of our country. They respect us again. I respect them. The relationship is very good. I think it's important that these are two very major powers, nuclear powers at that, but two very important powers. You know, when I get along with Putin, when I get along with President Xi, when I get along with these people, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. We're tough and we're smart.
Dude, that's a fucking bad thing. You the only president that want to get along with them. You want to be buddy buddy. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying, you just trying to compromise with them and do little deals with them and all that. You want to be buddy buddy. You kiss a Putin ass. You had the motherfucking, you had our troops rolled out a red card for this motherfucker. What is you talking about? Man,
Smart and we're strong. We get along. It's a lot better than not getting along. You had somebody in here before. The war should have never started with Ukraine and Russia. It would have never started. And Putin said that himself. President Putin said that himself. So we want to see college students come in from countries. There are some countries that we can't necessarily say that. These are places that have ideologies that we can't live with. So there are some areas, some countries that we can't say that. But we're honored to have the students come here. Please. Yeah, please.
Yesterday you said that within 2 to 3 weeks we'd have a conclusive, pretty good conclusive end to the war in Gaza. What did you mean by that? And could you tell us
On what?
in the war in Gaza? You said
Yeah, what about it?
You said in 2 to 3 weeks we would have a conclusive end, a pretty good conclusive.
There's no conclusive. It's been going on for a long time. You're talking about, I guess if you really add it up, Steve, you're talking about thousands.
yeah, there ain't no damn conclusive. Goddamn, man, you said you gonna stop it on day one, and it's still going on. So hey, that's on you. You said you gonna be able to do it now. Now it ain't no because it's been going on for thousands of years. Man, get on out of here.
Thousands of years, okay? It's been going on there's nothing conclusive, but hopefully we're going to have things solved very quickly with regard to Gaza and also with regard to Ukraine and Russia.
Mr. President, who are you considering for the replacement to nominate for Lisa Cook, and what economic background or history are you?
Well, we have some very good people for that position, and I think we have some very good people. We're down to, I think I maybe in my own mind have somebody that I like, but I deal with Scott and I deal with Howard, and we're dealing with a lot of people actually that are going to be involved in that decision. Ultimately, it's a very important decision, as we see. I got a bad recommendation when I went with Jerome Too Late. It's just he's too late. His nickname is Too Late, costing us a lot of money, hurting the housing. Our housing industry is good, but it could be phenomenal. Most of this country, in economic terms, has been phenomenal. We've never seen anything like it. Because of him and his high interest rates, the housing.
Here he go lying again, blaming shit on other people. You know what I'm saying? He blaming the motherfucker on a high interest rate. No, it's your motherfucking terrorist, dog. You're terrorist on everybody. That's fucking the whole goddamn world up. That's what it is. It's your old big ugly ass bill. You know what I'm saying? That's cutting people Medicaid and Social Security and all the rest of that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's you. You destroying America, motherfucker.
Is less than it could be. We're going to get that straightened out very quickly. He gets out very quickly. Fortunately, he's been the wrong guy. Not a bad person, I don't think, but I do think he has motives, by the way. But I don't consider him. I've dealt with worse, but he hasn't done the job. The recommendation from a certain person was not a great recommendation. That person vouched for him, but we're doing a very careful study. We'll see what happens. Look, we just put a very good man in one position. We might switch him to the other. It's a longer term and pick somebody else, but we're very happy with the person we have in there, and we'll have a majority very shortly.
And then he started trying to throw her out. That's what he's talking about. He's trying to switch her out with the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Because of the longer term. He's just trying to throw the black woman out. And he don't even have the authority to do it. The president don't have authority to throw up the federal. She worked for the Fed. He don't have the authority to throw it out. Unless she did something really, really wrong. If she ain't did something wrong. And then, you know what I'm saying, the little bullshit they trying to pull up, then you got to convict her first. Then you can don't throw her the fuck out. But right now, y'all just saying shit. Ain't no saying y'all just allegations. Ain't no damn charges or nothing been filed against. Man, these motherfuckers crazy.
So that'll be great. Once we have a majority, housing is going to swing and it's going to be great. People are paying too high an interest rate. That's the only problem with housing. We have to get the rates down a little bit. And when we do, it's going to be a tremendous difference. The country is doing so well. It sort of blows through the fact that we have a man who's too late and not doing a very good job. Please, in blue.
Mr. President, regarding crime in DC, something that might help especially ladies is being able to carry. I know you've talked about reciprocal carry. Would you like for that to apply here in Washington DC?
When you say carry, I assume you're talking about carry what we're talking
Concealed
about, right?
or, yeah.
In other words, carry a gun. Is that right? Would you like to carry a gun?
I would like to, yes, sir.
You'd feel a hell of a lot better, right?
I absolutely would.
I agree with you 100%. Okay.
Okay, great.
But I'll tell you, within another couple of weeks, it's hard to believe what's been accomplished in 12 days, but within another couple of weeks, you won't have to carry. You're not going to have to carry. You're going to be safe.
Actually, you didn't have to carry it in. Crime in Washington, D.C. was down 35%. You know what I'm saying? Okay, if you wanted to put the National Guards at it somehow, why you didn't do it to Arkansas or something like that? Because the crime rate way higher than L.A. And that's crazy because L.A. is then what 2 or 3 fucking times bigger than them. So come on, man, stop playing. You just want to run Democratic cities. That's it.
Safe. People are safe now. The turn has gone fast. I knew it was going to go fast, but this turn has gone really fast. And within a month or two, this is going to be one of the safest places in the country. I have no doubt about it. And we'll do an extension. We'll work with Congress, or I could declare an emergency, but I don't think that's going to be necessary.
And
We'll
to
work with
that,
Congress.
you've got-
We're going to be working with Congress. I spoke with our great speaker, and I will be speaking to John Thune, and we're getting tremendous support from Congress, especially maybe here. Everybody wants to see our capital be great. Could say be great again. You know, it's such a beautiful place, but if you have crime, nothing looks beautiful.
You know what this dude doing with our National Guards? He got them picking up motherfucking trash. Fucking trash. They just sitting around. The greatest one. You got us picking up freaking trash, man. With our National Guards? Military? This
So, but you won't need to carry a gun. But if you do,
Well, I would like
It's
to
gonna be
have
your
the
choice.
option, just in case.
well, a lot
Sir.
of people feel that.
Also in other blue cities, you've got Karen Bass in Los Angeles, Brandon Johnson in Chicago. It seems to be very popular here, the fact that people can walk around, go to restaurants, shop, not
Yeah.
have to worry about their safety. If blue city mayors oppose those efforts in their cities, do you anticipate that Democrat voters are going to take it out on them at the
I
ballot?
think so. I think that crime is going to be a big thing. And we are the party, the Republicans are the party that wants to stop crime. We're against crime. The Democrats like crime. I don't know why. I mean, we talk about common sense. I think I got elected on talking about common sense. The border, we have to have a wall.
No, you really didn't get elected by talking about some motherfucking common sense, the shit you talking about. Mass deportation and, this cutting social security and everything else. It really wasn't no damn common sense. But for you to say Democrats want fucking crime, why is our goddamn all our cities lower than the Republican cities? Our crime rate's way lower than you guys. That's what you lying about, man. Stop fucking lying. We give a fuck about crime. We do shit about crime. What the fuck you do? You released all the goddamn January 6s and all that shit. The motherfuckers that beat up the goddamn police and everything else. That's what you did. And you want to get on us about some motherfucking goddamn crime? You want to get on Democrats about some motherfucking crime? Look at the shit you did. You know what I'm saying? You got 35 counts. You done molested women. You done cheated, man, on taxes and every goddamn thing. You want to say something about some motherfucking crime? Mother, get your ass up out of here.
Wall. We don't want transgender for everybody. We don't, as I said before, we don't want to have men playing in women's sports. I mean, you see the difference. Weightlifting. Take a look at weightlifting. Take a look at long distance running, where a runner came in 5 hours and 14 minutes ahead of another runner, both champions. One male, one. It's not fair. It's demeaning to women. It's so bad. But they have another one, and I think this is the beauty of them all: crime. They're against crime prevention. You can't do that. You can't do that. And it's. I think to myself, I say, is there some game? You know, they're smart people. Is there anybody that could cheat like that in elections is smart, okay? And there's never been in history anybody that could cheat like that. They're smart. They're brilliant in many ways. I say, is there some trick to this? When they say Trump is in Washington, D.C., stopping crime, he's a dictator. And people are being mugged like your brilliant associate here. I don't know how you're alive. I mean, based on that story, you got very lucky.
Ain't you the one that said you gonna be dictated on day one? And you carrying that shit out. We see the shit. Now you trying to deny it, but you still doing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We ain't stupid. You know what I'm saying? You denying it, so and doing it right in our motherfucking face. So motherfucker like, damn, he ain't doing it. He said he ain't doing it, and you still doing the shit. Yeah, you trying to be a dictator. That's why you like Kim Jong and all them.
He didn't just go, all he had to do is this, right? And, it's pretty amazing. So we have something. I think we have two things. I think what Bobby was talking about with respect to drug prices is unbeatable. Nobody else could have done it but us. And I think that crime. I think crime will be the big subject of the midterms and will be the big subject of the next election. Uh, think of it. They are, instead of saying Trump's right about crime, it's really bad in Chicago. You have a guy in Illinois, the governor of Illinois, saying that crime has been much better in Chicago recently, and Trump is a dictator. And most people say, if you call him a dictator, that if he stops crime, he can be whatever he wants. I'm not a dictator, by the way, but he can be whatever he wants. I think it's going to be a big.
All right, that's what it is right there. He just admitted it right there. If he stop crying, he thinks he can be anything he want. You know what I'm saying? But he gonna say, I ain't even trying to be no dictator, no dictator. But he ain't got it in the man. He could be anything he want to be. Because he trying to stop crime. This is a bullshit because he had day one that he wanted to be a dictator. All right, y'all. Let me know in the comments, like, and all this stuff, man. And make sure you hit the subscribe button, man. New channel. Come on, y'all. Hit me on up. And I'll see y'all next time. Peace.